Ladies and gentlemen, in Professor Dewberry's class, I would like to inform all of you guys on what hindsight bias is. Hindsight, by the end of the speech, I hope all of you guys will have a basic knowledge about the concept of hindsight bias. Have you ever told yourself that something is possible without a guarantee of evidence? That is what is called hindsight bias. While researching this particular topic, I have encountered that I realize hindsight bias, and I've encountered that in my personal life as well as in literature, TV, movies, books, even in political debates, and even in the news today. It is very important to know that hindsight bias is used mostly when you are dealing with such similar scenarios. Take, for example, the Super Bowl. Yeah, to begin, let's define and describe what hindsight bias is. Hindsight bias can be defined thoroughly using the sense of reflection. Hindsight bias occurs when we look backward in time and see events that are more predictable than they were at the time when the decision was made. For example, I cited my source from https://fsdoes.blog, and it was created in August 2009. This helps to prove that even though at times there are tough times, hindsight bias is a really useful tool to use to predict anybody's future. Also, the hindsight bias tool is used to exaggerate to an extent about a flashback or a past event that somebody has predicted beforehand, from investments to medical decisions. For example, I cite this source from www.mckinsey.com/business/functions/organization. I got that from there. This thoroughly helps to state that hindsight bias is a convincing tool and a very helpful as well as a persuasive tactic to use. Now, to conclude quickly, hindsight bias is basically helpful in our own lives because it helps make good decisions and reflect on a past event and predict what will actually happen in reality if it's accurate. Now, looking at my next point, we can use it in real life, even furthermore, and even in political debates. Like, for example, in the November 2008 election, when Barack Obama won the election, he had a 60% chance. But then you predict beforehand. That's what we call as hindsight bias. Also, Coach Carroll came up with the concept of natural ridicule when the Seahawks was in the Super Bowl. That's what we call hindsight bias, using tactics such as game theory and prediction. This helps to thoroughly prove that in pop culture, politics, and real life, hindsight bias helps to create accurate predictions that will happen thoroughly. I hope all of you guys, we went over thoroughly how hindsight bias is helpful in proving a point, even when one is not thoroughly convinced to state the claim, and you predict and then later on we predict and then later on our thing comes true. That's what we call as hindsight bias. I hope you guys now have a better understanding of what hindsight bias actually is, and hopefully people can use the tactic to predict something that will actually happen. I hope you all enjoy this. From Akash Kanan.